Update. Am I the a-hole for not inviting any of my siblings to my wedding? Original post. So I, 23, female, I'm getting married in a few months. And I have few significantly older siblings, 34 female, 36 male, and 38 male twins. All of them are now married. And since I was a teen when they got married and they had a child-free wedding, I was not invited to any of their weddings. My oldest sibling first had a child-free wedding and then the others decided to follow. When my oldest brother got married when I was 10, so sure, I kind of get not inviting me, but I was still extremely upset. My oldest brother got married to a woman I really love, and I can't even witness it? The other brother got married when I was 12, so again, sure, get not inviting a 12-year-old, but I was a very well-behaved child, and again, his sibling. My sister got married when I was 15. At first, she didn't want a child-free wedding, but all of the family members convinced her because, OMG, it's so refreshing to be in a wedding where children don't bring havoc. So she decided for a cutoff to be 16. And when I asked, can I be a one exception since I'm 15 and your sister? She said no, with a very serious tone. If we make an exception for you, what about other children? It's not fair. I got upset and screamed that what is not fair is not participating in any of my siblings' weddings. My parents got upset with me and I was grounded. And lastly, my brother got married when I was 17. At that point, I didn't care. I knew there was going to be child-free wedding, and that once again I'm not invited. I didn't ask her beg. My step-cousin who just turned 18 just made a cut and I didn't. Well, as I said, I didn't care. Sent a quick congrats and that's it. My parents got furious and why I didn't even congratulate them. I just ignored them and spent all the time in my room with my now soon-to-be husband. Since I'm getting married, I decided none of them are going to be there, since I wasn't allowed to be there too. When they didn't get the invitations, they all came to my house and demanded to know why didn't they get one. I simply explained, you didn't want me in your wedding. I don't want you in mine. I explained how hurt I was that I was not able to see any of my siblings get married, and they should experience the same. They said that weddings had alcohol, so they didn't want any young impressionable kids there. And I said, all I wanted was to be included in the wedding part. I didn't care about the after party. Mom then started screaming again about how unfair I was, and how she wants all of her kids to be together on that beautiful day, which is ironic. But I am not backing down. I firmly believe in not inviting them. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. It was cruel that they excluded you. Their comments about alcohol are ridiculous. It's not hard to keep alcohol away from children at events. They are making excuses. It's fair enough to have a child-free wedding. It's not only that the young children may disrupt the event, it's also about cost. Including children can mean having to hire a larger, more expensive venue and providing a lot more food, and catering is expensive. I have never heard of anyone excluding a close member of the family though. You are a sibling, not some high school friend's kid. It was a big deal that you were excluded. It was inappropriate and weird, and it's understandable that the result is you don't feel close to your siblings. Let your mother screech. It's not her wedding. You don't have to listen to her. Tell her she has communicated how she feels, and the decision has been made. Then put the phone down or leave the room. If she wanted her kids to be together, she had plenty of opportunities to make sure you were included, and chose not to. If she is attempting to be petty, she missed a good opportunity with her mom. She should have grounded her when she threw a fit, just like they grounded you when you did. By grounded, I mean not allow her to come dress shopping, to the shower, whatever you deem a good comparison. Not the a-hole, and I call BS on the reason they gave, alcohol. If it was really that, then why did they keep upping the age cutoff right to where you could never make the cut, 16 and 17, both of which are still too young for booze anyway? It's legal to drink when you're 18 here. That still doesn't explain why you were excluded at 15 when the age limit declared by your siblings was 16. You're not the a-hole, and tell your mother that if she wants a family event with all her children, she can pay for and organize it herself. She let you down as a kid when your siblings excluded you from their life events, and then she grounded you for voicing your pain. That's not good parenting. That's punishing the victim. You deserve better, and your siblings deserve to be called out for their behavior towards you by not being invited to your life event. Congratulations, by the way, sweetie. Not the a-hole. Heck, and invite your whole family. Your parents aren't innocent in this. Exactly. If mom and any other family member keep up the complaining and screaming, time to take them out the wedding too. I am so sorry this happened to you. If my siblings and parents did this to me, I'd gone low contact. If they raised hell about my wedding choices and the way they've done it and never apologized for what they did, I'd go no contact. Congratulations on your wedding. I wish you a happy marriage and for you to have a blast at your ceremony and party. Now for the update. We talked the day after I made a post. I said that the only way I'm going to invite them if they explain absolutely everything. Otherwise, no invitation. After some weird looks and silence, the truth came out. I am their cousin. My father's brother was raising me alone and died, so I was raised by my uncle. They do not know who my mother is. I was young, required a lot of attention, wasn't their sibling, so they kind of distanced themselves from me. My brother said that they even hated me sometimes. My parents sat there ashamed for not telling me. My cousin just looked awkward. I just left. We eloped. So after all the drama, we talked and realized we were doing the whole wedding thing because we thought the other wanted it. We were not against the idea of flashy wedding, but calm day with just closest people was closest to our hearts. So we did that, just us and some of our friends. We are keeping the money for our dream country to visit. My parents had the audacity to get angry that there was no celebration, but I don't care, to be honest. It was a day for us. That's it. I hope the update was not disappointing. Special thanks for everyone writing me messages, telling us that we were too immature to get married. I am their cousin. Great. That makes their actions totally okay now. They didn't want you at their wedding, but demand to be in yours? That's still messed up. And the parents? Were they just going to never tell OP? They're still a-holes. Now the parents are just bigger a-holes than before. Mom then started screaming again about how unfair I am and how she wants all of her kids to be together on that beautiful day. Parents are the biggest a-holes in all of this. The siblings got their wedding the way they wanted, and then comes the OP, who cannot make decision about their own wedding, as mom wants free food, drinks, and celebration with her kids. OP should go no/low contact with these people. Not to mention the decades that no one was apparently allowed to mention OP's dad/uncle. All the fresh memories of him are gone. Those memories are now tainted by time that OP will never get back. The parents are such big a-holes. OP's going to have to do so much more work now to find out about her family. It's sad. They could have been talking about her father this whole time in a compassionate and loving way, but instead hid everything and made it a dirty secret. I feel so bad for OP. So mom wanted them to be all together for OP's wedding, but didn't try to get OP to be able to attend any of the siblings' wedding? And then a bombshell that she's actually a cousin and no one told her? And that still doesn't make it right. I think going for the elopement with her close friends and no family was the perfect answer to how the family treated her over the years, especially the parents. OP didn't say anything about how she was treated by the parents, but you get the feeling she wasn't loved as much as the other kids. Because mom did such a charitable thing raising an orphan, that the child owes them that, but her bio children don't owe her that. Mom and dad might have been trying their best raising all the children equally, but in an emotional level, there was always a difference. Can you even imagine the hoops her parents were jumping through in their brain to reconcile not telling her the truth while her siblings all treated her like trash? No, we can't tell her the truth. It might make things weird, unlike now, where they all actively despise her. So ridiculous. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my mother I won't pay the taxes on their paid-off home while my brother lives there with his kids? Both my parents are old enough to retire and collect Social Security and their pensions. My brother is 43 years old, has a full-time job and uses 3 of the 4 bedrooms at my parents' home. 1 for himself, 2 other rooms for his kids. My brother pays $1,200 a month to my parents for rent, when the normal rent for a 3-bedroom home in that area is $2,300 and up. My parents just paid a house off 2 months ago, and they are now asking my sister and I to help out with paying the taxes. My parents have told me I will receive 25% ownership of the house, my brother living with them 50%, and sister the remaining 25% after they pass. Yeah, no favoritism there. I asked my brother, how much do you need, so I can pay 25% of the taxes? He said, I don't know. My mother then said, your father and I want to retire. We would like you, brother and sister, to pay the taxes. I asked if the rent my brother pays isn't enough. My brother never moved out of the house and has been leeching off my parents his whole life. My mother defended him because it takes care of running errands. Then proceeded to tell me to lower the child support I paid to my ex-wife, whom I have 2 boys with. I said, let me get this straight. You want to give less to my kids, just so my brother and his kids can live a better life? Or did you prefer I take money out of my retirement account, penalties and all, to keep coddling my brother? I'm sorry, but I will not continue to enable him like you have all these years. I have my own family and bills to take care of. Now for the top comments. I don't see how it would be the responsibility of anyone neither living in the house nor owning the house to pay the taxes. Surely it's your parents' asset and the taxes are owed by them entirely. If they haven't got enough, they could downsize, as so many people do when their kids are grown, or your brother can pay more rent. I suspect this is the warm-up to them asking you to pay a share of repairs and maintenance on the property too, with the inheritance being the dangled carrot, not the a-hole. My sister and I have told our parents they should downsize so they could retire 5 years ago. But my parents couldn't stop coddling my brother. Where will your brother live? What about our grandchildren? Now that it's paid off, still can't believe they're asking me for money when my brother should be paying at least $1,800 to $2,000 for the number of rooms he's taking up. Not to mention he has admitted to me that sometimes he only works 30 hours a week, by choice. Meanwhile, I'm putting in 40+ hours with a permanent disability, which I take paid meds for daily, making sure my kids are good. I love my mother, but she has no idea what cuddling and boundaries are. I understand these behaviors are taught from a young age, so I don't blame her for not being conscious of her unconscious behavior. It's just tough trying to be kind to family who can't see the whole picture. I have a family to provide for too. That's messed up. She's okay with you providing less for your own children, so she can keep your brother and his kids housed. Your mom's quite a winner. Not the a-hole. I wouldn't either. I'd be prepared to lose that inheritance, but it's not yours to pay. Isn't that rolled into the mortgage they're paying anyway? Or is the house paid off? I could care less about inheritance. The last thing I want is to have the IRS chasing me down because my leech of a brother can't be responsible enough to pay his taxes on a home which is paid off and I am part owner of. I've even told both my parents, take me off the will. I don't want anything from you. Not the a-hole. Stick to your guns. Let your mooching brother pay it. Info, I am in the UK. What taxes are these and why would you pay it on a fully paid up house? In California, after you pay your house off, you continue paying 1.25% of the assessed value of your home for property tax. If your home is worth $500,000, you pay $6,250 per year. Property taxes vary by state. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling a bounty hunter where to find my brother when he apparently lied and listed my address on his paperwork to bail bonds company and then skipped his court date? My 22 male brother, 35 male, has spent his life in and out of jail. He was arrested again a couple months ago for God knows what. He posted bail through a bondsman and was released. Long story short, I just happened to be sitting in my dining room eating dinner when there is a knock on the door. I open it and it's a man wearing a bulletproof vest. He looks confusingly at a piece of paper and asks, "Is brother's name here right now?" I told him that he's my brother and he doesn't live here. The man then proceeds to tell me that my brother missed court and the bondsman is out for $25,000 and they're looking for him. He asked if I knew where to find him, and I gave the man an address for a friend's house that my brother goes to 90% of the time for parties, drugs, etc. Well, they caught him there, and now his bail has been revoked and he's back in jail. No bail bonds company will let him now, and no other friends or family can afford to give him the money. I'm sure as heck not giving him anything after the stunt he pulled. He'll just have to stay in jail until his trial now. My mom, aunt, sister, and grandma have all been blowing up my phone the past few days with messages on Facebook about how much of a terrible person I am for getting my poor brother in trouble. I'm starting to feel a little guilty now, but I don't appreciate him possibly getting me arrested or worse by lying and using my address. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. All the problems her brother has right now are all he's doing. Do your family really thought he could hide forever? Or that lying and involving you in his illegal activities without your consent was somehow okay? I honestly don't know. They act like he can't do any wrong. He was never disciplined as a child, and now that mom can't save him when the law gets involved, it's somehow my fault. The judge already revoked his bond and issued a bench warrant. Why do they think the bondsman want to pick him up? The details don't matter to my family when it comes to him. It's been this way since we were kids. He can do no wrong. End of story. Sounds like there's more to the story. Like, why does family treat him like the golden child? Like zero discipline? I have no earthly idea. Definitely something that happened before I was in the picture. Not the a-hole. As someone who also has a problematic brother caused years of stress, strain, money, so much money spent for his screw-ups, and pain from all his crappy, stupid choices, you did the right thing. Your brother needs to own up to his crappy life choices, which are illegal ones that he continues to actively choose to make. It's time for him to face some damn consequences for his actions, instead of having your parents bail him out time and time again. After years of putting up with my brother's nonsense, I did something of the same as you, and he spent years in prison, and now has finally cleaned himself up. So stay optimistic that your efforts might do the same. Thank you. My mom has probably spent tens of thousands of dollars over the years on my brother's legal problems. Now she can't help him anymore. He was never disciplined when he was younger. Our mom has always covered for him no matter what it was. But now it's supposedly my fault that she can't help him anymore? Tell her that this was a divine intervention. She clearly needed an intervention from enabling your brother, which wreaked havoc on her finances, her sanity, and her relationship with you.